Ready, 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 ready. Let's see if we are alive. We'll see. My internet been tripping lately the last couple of days, so hopefully we got enough juice to get this done. Are we alive? That is the million-dollar question, first and foremost. And I don't know if we're alive unless someone comes into the chat. So, are we alive or not alive? Yo, Zane Richardson, my man. I was just talking to him on Instagram a little while ago. He got the gold medal. We got JB with the silver medal. And we got Victory with the bronze medal. Michael with the first loser, fourth place medal. But we do appreciate your participation, Mr. Michael. Good work this week. Zane, number one, all the way from Australia, the bottom of the map. Zane is in the house. JB, and then Victory. How's everybody doing today? I want to hit as many questions as we possibly can. Please hit the thumbs up. There will be over 3,000 people that come into the chat. Hit the thumbs up. Let's beat a record. Just hit the thumbs up. If we could get 851 thumbs up, we will beat the record of 850. And as you know, the thumbs up, it spreads the video out as far as possible, and hopefully we can help as many people as possible. So it doesn't cost you anything. Just hit the thumbs up. We got to get 850. That is a community record that we must beat. If you guys have any questions at all, please type a couple question marks and then ask your question. The chat is going to be popping, and I want to make sure that I get every single question knocked out. Do not be bashful. There are no silly questions. You guys are anonymous. I don't know who you guys are. No one knows who you are. Ask the question. Ask any single question that you guys want, because like the title says, reselling is really hard. You've never heard me say, hey, reselling is easy. Never once have come out of my mouth. Reselling is really hard, and I'm here to help. I want to try to help as many people as we possibly can. And that's all I want to do. If I didn't want to be on here, trust me, I would not be on here. I would go out and I would go do something else. But I want to be on here. I want to help as many people as possible. But in order to help as many people as possible, we need to ask as many questions as possible. And I want to knock out about 100 questions in the next hour or so. And once I beat the chat, it is a wrap and the show is over. So any question that you guys got, please put some question marks, and we're going to knock every single question out. I want to help as many people as possible. I was actually thinking about, and this might be crazy, last year, my good mate, James Boldfines from the UK, he did something called Vlogmas. And Vlogmas means putting up a video every single day for the month of December from the 1st until Christmas. I've been thinking about it. I haven't committed to it, but I've been thinking about going live every single day in December from the 1st to the 25th. And maybe we can help as many people as we possibly can at the end of the year, end of Q4, and maybe we can get them a kickstart in 2025. I don't know if that's something that you guys are interested in. I imagine in the beginning, people are going to be all over. And I imagine by the time we reach the 25th, there's probably going to be less and less people in here, but that's okay. I just want to answer as many questions as we can get and talk to as many people as we could talk to. And I don't need anything from anybody. I just need your attention and a commitment to be actionable on the things that we are talking about. If you want to watch something entertaining, go watch the LeBron shoot a jump shot tonight. If you want to actually learn, take the information that we talk about today, institute it into your business, get better, make a couple dollars more. That is what we are here today. And we have Jean Queen, number 86th in the chat. Usually she's right up there at the top, first, second, or third. 86th in the chat. Asleep at the wheel today, Jean Queen. First question from YJT. Would you consider making a video at the bins? I'm not opposed to making a video at the bins. The bins for me personally was never kind of like my forte. I mean, it is a great place to get items. A lot of the items that, I do get are from the bins, but for me, I didn't spend a lot of time at the bins. I went a handful of times, like if the flea market was raining, I might have hit the bins while I was waiting for some thrift stores to open. But for me personally, where I live, I had much better luck going to different thrift stores, the racks, paying more money, but finding maybe more higher quality stuff or finding better stuff than what I was able to find at the bin. So you kind of have to do that, that time analysis, and see where you are going to make the most money, and that's where we need to put our time and our attention. I think that the bins model can be a beautiful model, a great model, but for me personally, I found more luck going to the flea market and going to the thrift store. But yeah, I have no problem going to the bins. There's also like this small like part of me where like I know like when I make a video of somewhere that like a tiny bit of it is like blowing up the spot. And like I don't want to like blow up people's spots. So like I'm pretty careful about like being a little bit vague most of the time of where I am and what I'm doing. And people ask in the comments, like, hey, where are you? And like that's good. So like I don't necessarily want to like blow up a bunch of people's spots and like go to the bins and maybe found like a Bazenga shirt and like, oh my goodness, like we all got to go to this particular bins now. Like I think that like we do have like a little bit of a responsibility to like not blow up people's spots, like not go there for one day just to make a video and like never go back again. So like if I try to be like as vague as possible, and I try to continuously hit the spots that I hit. Unless, of course, I'm traveling far away. But like the spots that I do show are the spots that I go to routinely. Like I'm not out here trying to like blow up anybody's spots. Like I'm blowing up my own spots by showing like what time I get there, where I'm going, exactly who I'm buying from, exactly what I'm buying, and I'm happy like blowing up my own spot, but like I don't want to blow up a bunch of people's spots. But I'm not opposed to doing something at the bins or something like that. I just gotta figure out a way to do it where it's respectful to everybody involved. Any way to get rust stains out of hats? You can try maybe like OxyClean, but they're a little bit tough on the hats. Maybe try some OxyClean, but it's a little bit tough. Maybe my wife has a tip for you in the chat. She's always responding underneath my name there, so maybe she has a tip for you, but they're usually a little bit difficult on hats. Excluding eBay, what sites allow reselling delivery driver clothing like UPS or FedEx? Okay, so like on eBay, you have to be careful selling the delivery driver clothing like UPS, USPS, FedEx. You also have to be careful selling airline stuff. And this is because, and I received a phone call from eBay probably like 10 years ago, where they said that they were removing these types of items from the marketplace because they actually received a phone call or communication from the Department of Homeland Security, and they said that there was some kind of issue or threat with people being able to buy USPS, UPS, FedEx airline personnel employee clothing, putting that on and then getting into sensitive areas at airports and places like that. So for me personally, I pass on listing those kinds of things. And you can go on eBay right now and people are selling it. That's okay. They can sell it. I'm going to sit this one out. There's plenty more other items out there available for us to make a profit on. So for what marketplace allow those, I'm not sure, because eBay told me straight from the phone call that the Department of Homeland Security does not want these items on eBay. So since it came from the Department of Homeland Security through eBay on a phone call to me, I don't have much advice on where to sell like delivery driver or airline clothing. Just be very safe with your account, because you can get a policy violation and end up losing your account. We got Dan with the question. Remember, put some questions in front of your questions so I don't miss it. We already got 224 people in here. We've only been up for 9 minutes. Hit the thumbs up button. Let's try to beat a record today. We should have at least 250 thumbs up. How many thumbs up do we got? Someone put it in the chat. We got to beat 850. I'm feeling good about this tonight. We actually have an opportunity to beat the thumbs up record. I have a feeling tonight. And as you guys know, you hit the thumbs up, you get a sale. There is a direct correlation with hitting the thumbs up and getting a sale. So Dan says, markdown sale and sale promotions. I just got the low-level store, cannot find the markdown one, and having a tough time figuring out how to run the best sale. Most of my items are priced on the high side. So the markdown sales event is underneath the promotions tab at the top. And then there's going to be a drop down menu on the top right hand side of your promotions tab. One of them does say markdown sales event. That's the one that you're looking for. One of them is also combined shipping and volume pricing. But you're looking for the markdown sales event, which is on the top right hand corner. And then figuring out the best sale to run. You really have to have an understanding of your numbers to make sure that even though you are running a sale, you still are making a desired profit, or knowing that you are maybe breaking even or perhaps even losing a couple dollars, which I am anti losing money. But you do have to have a good understanding of your numbers if you are going to institute any of the promotions, such as promoted listings, a buyer coupon, markdown sale, a sale event, volume pricing, all of that stuff. We have to have an understanding of our numbers. And if you don't have an understanding of your numbers, go right to the top, search Techonomics, Tech and Sports, it will come up. And I go over everything for the numbers to help you kind of get in the right direction of where you need to be to have somewhat of a fundamental understanding of the numbers. But to answer the question, it's in the top right-hand corner of the promotions tab. There's a drop-down menu. One of those is markdown sales promotion. Thank you very much for the question. Flipping from the trailer says they like the video waiting for the sale. Very good. Report back. Sarah says, first time making the live all the way from Brisbane, Australia. All right. Righto. Mel taught me that. Mel taught me. Righto. And Mel, she came over here to America and we picked her up from the airport and she hung out with us for a couple of days. And I'll tell you this, Mel, back from burnout, she is the most genuine human being that I have ever met in my entire life. And I don't know if they make everyone like that in Australia, but she was the most genuine human being that I have ever met in my life. And Mel, she hosts the Australia call in our group, which is tonight at 3:30 a.m. Eastern time, 7:30 AEST. And she also hosts the YouTube social media call with James Boltfine. So who is the furthest away? We have a couple Australias in here. I see Bygone Sarah. She's also from Australia. Zane is from Australia. Who else is from Australia? Who's the furthest away? How to handle when someone asks to pick up an item instead of shipping it. I tell them I'm not set up to do that because it's usually kind of a pain to like coordinate with them, and then they flake, and then like you have something come up and then you start playing like this message tag. I just tell them I'm not set up to do this. You know, let's just ship it out. It's only going to cost a couple dollars. I ship it out today. You'll have it tomorrow. Any real estate ventures in the future? Hopefully so. Been saving some money. Interest rates maybe will come down. But once the interest rates come down, guess what happens? The price of real estate goes up. So you can't win. Interest rates are going to be high. Interest rates are going to be low. It doesn't matter who's in charge. It's our duty, our obligation to get the money. But hopefully so. Kobe says, thanks for the stream. I noticed the last few weeks the thrift have been filled with holiday stuff. Did you notice this when you would thrift? I don't go for clothes, mostly random hard goods. Yeah, like they'll put like Halloween stuff, they'll put Thanksgiving stuff, they'll put Christmas stuff. Yeah, it kind of looks like they kind of stack up and then they kind of flood the stores with it. I have seen that before. Victory, who was our third place in the chat today, do you think someone who primarily resells women's clothing and wants to make a full-time living should focus more on men's clothing versus women's? Not necessarily. We have some great women's clothing sellers in the group. We have Rachel. She hosts the Poshmark call. She crushes it. She lives in California. She does a great job. We have a lot of really good women's clothing sellers in the group. I think whether it's women's or men's or a blend, I think that there's plenty of money to be made in each category. Brian says, heading to New York, Midtown, best advice of thrifts to hit in the vicinity. So 2 weeks ago, I put out a thrift video of Midtown Manhattan. They have a couple Goodwills there. The price was in line with what we pay in Florida, like $7.99 for most items. And we got like a Burberry jacket that is going to sell for a couple $100. Goodwill, Salvation Army, and then they kind of have like the curated thrift stores, which, you know, we caught them slipping a couple times. But all in all, I think that there's tremendous opportunities. Don't sleep on the street vendors that have a rack of clothes on the side of the road. Like those people had great stuff. Also, the Meadowlands flea market was really, really good. So if you get a chance to go out there, I think the Uber was like $80 or $60. My wife is in the chat. She would know. But it's like a 30-minute drive. You can also go to the American Dream Mall, which is right by the Meadowlands, which that's a pretty cool place to go. We actually saw Tracy Morgan at the American Dream Mall. We were leaving, he was coming in. Like he came in real high, like a brand new Escalade, and like I could tell by the way he came in and parked. I was like, oh, someone like famous is in this car. And out steps Tracy Morgan. And so he did his thing. He went into the mall. So if you are in the area, definitely hit American Dream Mall just to walk around. They have a whole downward mountain slope where you can snowboard and ski right inside the mall. They have a water park in the mall. They have a theme park in the mall. They have an ice skating rink in the mall. It's crazy, the craziest thing in the world. They also have a Mr. Beast burger inside the mall, which it wasn't half bad. The fries were no good. The burger was okay. But just watch that video from 2 weeks ago. I showed the whole thrift route in there and we did really good. The average cost of goods was like $11, but the average sale price was 53. All right. So a lot of people say they want to do the Vlogmas. All right, maybe I'll bust it out. If you guys show up, I'll bust it out. Tony P, what's happening, my man? Calculated or flat rate shipping? Me personally, I like to do a flat rate shipping. Calculated shipping can be wrong sometimes. And like if you live in Florida, you're selling a pair of shoes. We have seen instances where someone in California is being charged $52 to ship a pair of shoes that can ship for like 10. So me personally, I am a big proponent of flat rate shipping. Thrifty Spartan is here while at work. Shout out. Flipping from the trailer says LeBron is a punk, not even close to MJ. Well, MJ didn't get his son in the NBA. Now, did he? Lil Marcus Jordan didn't make it to the league, but Bronny, he made it to the league at least. So that might be one up on the GOAT status between LeBron and Jordan. And I've asked it once on one of the videos from California when we were by the Staples Center. Who's the real GOAT? Jordan, LeBron, or Kobe? What say you guys in the chat? The real GOAT, Jordan, LeBron, or Kobe? Sarah says, when you come to Wisconsin, we have a challenge to do. Yeah, I'm down to come to Wisconsin. That's where like a lot of my family is from. Like my mom, her side of the family is from Wisconsin. My grandpa was a dairy farmer, real young, like 7 years old, out there putting in the work. So yeah, when I come to Wisconsin, we'll hit the bins. Absolutely. Will you show us your new hat setup? I'm very interested in your storage system. So basically it's just shelves and all the hats are put away by date. So like if I list 20 hats today, I have a little sticker where that's the date. And then right next to it is a new date with the new hats. All right, here we are. Let me catch up in the chat. The chat has jumped. Would you consider writing a book on reselling? I don't know if I'm that smart to write a book on reselling, but I don't know. Maybe if someone smarter than me can help, I would be interested or be down, because I don't know, maybe it would be pretty cool to be an author. I can put that on the resume, but I'm not that smart to write a book. Can you do a day in a life or week of your schedule? That video would be so long nobody would want to watch. Like, ask Arwen. When Arwen was here, and if you're in the group, he said it a million times. When Arwen was here, from 4 o'clock in the morning, boots on the ground, rock and roll, until 1 o'clock in the morning, boots still on the ground, rocking and rolling. And I'm an old man, so there's just too much to show that goes on in the life, and the video would be so long, like nobody would watch it. Like, we get it popping over here. I try my very best to show you guys the flea market and try to condense that as much as possible. But even still, like, those videos end up being almost a half hour long. And there's like so much other cool stuff that I could show. Like a pair of $600 Louis Vuitton shoes gets 6 seconds of airtime because I've already found like 10 other things worth multiple hundreds of dollars. It's just, there's a lot going on, man. I know you like flat lay, but your opinion on flat lay versus mannequin for suit jackets. If you want all the money, then you got to go mannequin for the suit jackets. If you just want to pump them out, flat lay would work. But like if you want all the money, you got to go mannequin for the jackets. Oh, we got Christine in the chat. How you doing, Christine? I like Christine. She's good. What's good tonight? Thumbs up. We appreciate you, Zach. We got 100 thumbs up. Let's go. Second best platform to sell out besides eBay, in your opinion? I don't have any experience selling on any other platform. I've never had a Poshmark or Mark. I always get confused. I don't even think I've ever been on the website. I don't know if it's Poshmark or Poshmark. Sometimes I get confused on that. Never sold on Grailed, never sold on Depop. I don't know. Put in the chat. What is the first and second platform, best platforms to sell on for checkmate flips? The first and second best platforms to sell on. In the chat, what say you? Is it eBay on the top? Is it Poshmark on the top? Is it Whatnot? Is it Mercari? Is it Facebook Marketplace? You tell us. Surfs Up Finds, being an OG reseller, if you were to be in the middle of your selling journey right now, would you cross this onto other platforms? So again, I have no experience cross-posting, but this is my thing. I'm a big chicken. I don't take any risks. And I feel like there is an elevated risk for your account if you cross-post items. And never fails. People double list items and they have to do an out-of-stock defect. There's only a certain amount of out-of-stock defects before eBay will put you in timeout. I am too chicken to go down that path. When I had 50,000 items to manage 250 sales a day to make sure that they're delisted, even if you have a software that's supposed to do it by itself, if the software fails for an hour and I have 20 items sold in 1 hour, I'm stuck. So like for me, it was too risky to do. That in combination with, I do not want to spend any time listing items that do not sell. And we have to think about that. If I sell only on eBay, I do not want to spend any time listing items that do not sell, meaning I'm only going to list the best items that I possibly can. Now, after listing the best items that I possibly can, I do not want to list items that do not sell. So when you list an item on Poshmark, when you list an item on Grailed, on Depop, all of these other platforms, you are listing 8 items and 7 of them will not sell. So instead of spending my time listing items out there, even if it's very quick, I would rather spend my time listing an additional item rather than the same item multiple times in multiple places that needs to get managed. And if there's a glitch in the matrix, or you forget, or you get a phone call, or your kid gets sick at school and you don't bring the item down, that's way too risky for me. Now, I don't have a crusade against cross posters. You guys are free to run your business how you see fit. But for me personally, it was too risky at the volume that I was doing. And I don't want to spend time managing or listing items that will not sell. I just want to only list items that will sell. That's it. When pricing, is it better to use an average price on bread and butter items and price Grails and Bolos individually? Not necessarily. I think that we need to take an individualized approach towards every single item, because an average price for bread and butter, like some bread and butter sells for 20, some for 25, some for 30, some for 35, some for 15. But like if that particular bread and butter item sells for 15 and you have it priced at 35, it's never going to sell. So I think the further away you get on the average and the further the item is worth, I think the longer the horizon of the time that it's going to sell is going to take. So I think that we should price every single item individually in accordance to what the market will allow. Bobby says they did get a sale after they hit the like button. Let's go. Hit the thumbs up button. Let's try to get 850 thumbs up. We have 335 people in the chat. We will get 3,000 people by the time this is all said and done. Hit the thumbs up. Let's beat a record and let's celebrate. We have not beat the record in many months. It's very disappointing. I want to come in here and win every single week. Juanita, how you doing? How do we feel about making more than one eBay account to avoid relisting fees after 250 listings per month? I do not believe in letting pennies hold up dollars. So even if it costs you a couple cents to get an item listed, list the item. Do not let pennies hold up dollars. That is my philosophy. Dylan says, came by to drop a like, gonna save and watch tomorrow. Shout out to you. Thank you, Dylan. We got Michelle, Reseller Project. We appreciate you. Any thoughts on auto posture? I have never used any of the softwares personally, so I don't have an opinion on those. We got a lot of people from Australia. How about that? Peter, Stylist Wardrobe. Geez, Jen, so many people from Australia. I love it. Um, it has made me rethink things since Sean from Taylor Exchange quit eBay. Not sure why it's made me feel as easy that maybe I can't make this work. So look, man, I've been doing this for over 15 years. Like, there is only like one or two other people that I personally knew from back in the day. I mean, there's plenty that are still around that like I've personally known from back in the day that are still doing this. And like I've met thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and for whatever reason, they get packed up and they stop doing this and they go do something else. So this is not easy. It's difficult. But like the model of like finding the best stuff is undefeated. Like if you want to be like a very like smart person and you want to like conjure up all of these different ways on like how we can be profitable, or like how we can do this, or like how we could do like $7 profits and like scale to profitability and be like a spreadsheet millionaire, and like on paper this works. Look, the only thing that works is finding great items and getting better at finding great items. That's it. And like if you want to do all of this other kind of stuff, that doesn't work. If you want to run a bunch of experiments and have a new different business model every single week, and one week we're doing this, one week we're doing that, if you want to think that you have a better way outside of just finding great stuff, there is no better way than just finding great stuff. So like if people want to go down that path of like having a different way of not actually finding good stuff and selling good stuff and doing it properly and handling the proper procedures, then they're going to pack up their stuff and they're going to go find something else to do. And that's the name of the game. And like, it's just how it goes. So like there's been thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people that, for one reason or another, it just doesn't work out. And that's okay. Like reselling is hard. I've said myself a lot of times, like I've never said this is easy. It's hard. Like some people have a hard time like finding really good stuff. I understand, but like, at one point I was going to 55 thrift stores and going to the flea market 3 days a week. Saturday and Sunday I was going 2 days a week. Like, would I love to go like to my nearest like Plato's Closet, like right down the street, and if I don't find anything, I throw my hands up? Yeah, I would love to do that. Like I have a Goodwill like 6 baseball throws from my house. That Goodwill sucks. Would I love to go there and find all the items that I need for my entire life? I would love it. But like this Goodwill is horrible. So I have to go hours away and go find stuff. I have to go all the way up to Orlando. It's 3 hours away to go find stuff. I have to go all the way down to Miami. It's a 2 hour drive just to go find stuff. Like that's what I did my entire reselling career. And that's what it takes. And it's hard. It's difficult. You have to be disciplined every single day. You have to get your listings up every single day. You have to have a good understanding of your numbers every single day. You have to make the connections. You have to make the relationships. It's difficult. You have to be an accountant. You have to be a marketer. You have to, order inventory. You have to order supplies. You have to do everything. There's a million things that we have to do, but like we can all do this. And like if you do it the correct way, and no one has to do it, which in my opinion is the correct way. I mean, you guys are free to run your business however you wish, but like there's like proven ways to do it, and then there's proven ways that don't work. So, the new business model every single week, the desire to list items that are not good or great, it's very tough. So like, there's a lot of people, especially after COVID, like money was raining from the sky. A lot of people started doing this. Maybe they've over leveraged. Maybe, they can't keep up with, their monthly whatever. But, we've been talking about it for several weeks, and, they're just part of life. That's how it goes. And, most people find something a little bit greener on the other side, because like reselling is not the end all be all. And they come in, they make some money, great, and we go find something else to do, and that's fine too. Like we don't have to be eBay sellers or resellers forever. And for the thousands of people that I've known that have come and gone, I hope that they are finding immense success in whatever kind of journey that they're going on after this, because that's what life is about. Life is about a journey. We don't have to do this forever. We can get in and get out, and we can figure out something else to do. So, and anybody that's not still doing this, I wish them nothing but luck, and wish them, happiness and prosperity and whatever else they choose to do. But it's tough. It's hard. It's very difficult. But that's how it goes. I notice a lot of men's dress pants, like a lot, have a bit of yellowing on the inside. Is this normal for men's pants? Sometimes you got to check it. Just like you have to check women's pants, you got to check men's pants. You just got to check it. Besides being on YouTube, do you advertise your eBay store in another way? I do not. My wife says it's around $60 to go to Meadowland Flea Market from Manhattan. And we were on 44th and 6th, and then we were on 45th and maybe 6th as well. So yeah, about $60. When I list clothing, eBay suggests a price I should list at. How accurate do you think that price is? I think that every single listing should be checked manually. The suggested price is usually incorrect. I listed a hat yesterday that it suggested me to list it for $12, and I ended up selling it within a couple of hours for $120. So it is, in my opinion, inaccurate. Would you say your information is valuable now as how it was before with not so much competition? Absolutely. Like the skills that I have now are way better than the skills that I had back then. And like when we talk about competition, we also have to talk about all of the advantages that you guys have today. In the good old days, like when I was making listings on like stone tablets and sending tracking numbers by smoke signal and like pack mule, like we didn't have newsletters, we didn't have buyer groups, we didn't have markdown managers, we didn't have coupons, we didn't have offers to watchers, we didn't have any of the tools that we have today. When I started, like in the good old days, we didn't even have cell phones. Like I used to have to go to the thrift store, see an item, drive home, look on the computer. If it was good, then I would drive back to the thrift store to make the purchase. So like if there's one thing that I know how to do, bar none, it's how to make money, whether it is thrifting, reselling, going to the garage sale. However, I know how to make money, and it doesn't matter how many people are around. Like it wasn't that long ago, like less than 2 years ago, I had 50,000 items and I was doing multiple millions of dollars on eBay. So like, I don't care how many people are here. I welcome competition. I welcome competition into the market, because competition makes the market better and makes everybody else better. And if you're afraid of competition, then I think that's narrow-minded, short-sighted, and that is not of the abundance mentality. I welcome every single bit of competition. Like I show the flea markets that I go to, I show the people that I buy from, I show exactly what I buy, because I secretly hope someone comes and tries to scoop my plugs. It ain't gonna happen. I welcome every single bit of competition because competition fuels me. And I was thinking about this the other day. If people didn't screw me over or try to compete with me, I might be a scrub. I might be a bum in my life. But every single time someone has tried to compete with me or someone has tried to screw me, I ended up getting better and I ended up making so much more money. Like all the way back to the very beginning. Like I've had personal people try to screw me. It's made me a better person. I've had business associates try to screw me. It's made me a better person. I used to throw tree jobs to this guy, Matt, and all he had to do was give me 10%. The guy used to jerk me around for my 10%. So you know what I started doing? I started doing tree jobs myself. And now I have a beautiful tree service. I used to throw sprinklers to this guy, Josh. All he had to do was give me 10%. He used to jerk me around on 10%. And now I started doing sprinklers, and we have a beautiful sprinkler company. I started the brick and mortar store because some guy posted on Instagram that it was his lifelong goal to open up a vintage store in our city. And 10 days later, I had a brick and mortar store open, signed, sealed, delivered, and the doors were open. And this guy tried to screw me one time at the thrift store. So like, if you want to get me going, I do not need a lot of gas in my car to get going. So competition, competitiveness, if people didn't try to get over on me, I might be homeless. So I am thankful for the competition. I am thankful for people pulling the dirty moves. I love it and I enjoy it and I welcome it. So I don't see competition. I am fully confident in what I'm able to do. I am fully confident in my skills. I am fully confident in my ability to get better. I am fully confident in my ability to make money. And I am fully confident that the things that we talk about here are the best tactics, strategies, actionable advice anywhere on the internet when it comes to reselling and making money online. A lot of people saying Jordan in the chat. Shout out to you. Absolutely. I like LeBron though, man. You can't hate on LeBron. He got all the records. Even though Jordan went 6 for 6, never lost, LeBron got all the records, man. Thomas said, I told you last week I got a policy violation for a counterfeit item. I phoned eBay and it was from an automated bot. My item was priced too low, so flag eBay reversed the decision. Very good. Peter from Australia, I find it hard to navigate the document and the sheets. Have you had a thought about Discord? I ain't never doing Discord. Discord is the Wild Wild West, and I already got to moderate a Facebook group with hundreds of posts every single day. I am too old to even know how to work Discord. Did your warehouse rent go up every year? Absolutely, it did. It went up 5% every single year. So if you do want to venture into a commercial space, they will have escalators in there every single year, just like my brick and mortar store. I think that one goes up 5% as well. And that will be in the contract before you sign. And, you know, everything could be negotiated. Maybe you negotiate a 3% increase every single year, whatever you want to do. But you also have to worry about like CAM, which is, you know, common area maintenance, where, you know, if they fix the parking lot, maybe they can assess you and all the other tenants, and you'd have to pay a percentage of that. So when it does come to renting commercial property, you have to read every single line by line. But yeah, absolutely, the rent did go up every single year for the commercial space. Have you ever refunded someone who paid too much shipping, or do you take the eBay offerings? If it is egregious, then I do offer a refund. If it's just a couple cents or a couple dollars, then I don't. But if it is egregious, I absolutely do give the refund back. Rachel says, thanks for the plug earlier. That's right, Rachel. Rachel, she hosts the Poshmark call in the group. She's great. I actually met up with Rachel when she came down here to visit. She went with us to the flea market on a Sunday, and she just posted in the group. I think she sold an item for like $88 that we got for like $5 or something out there. Rachel said Christine said she got the head down, getting it done. Let's go. We got 200 thumbs up. Let's go. Let's try to get 850. We got 400 people in the call. Let's get 850 thumbs up. Mike, for the group or podcast membership, would you be open to long, unedited sourcing or day in the life? I mean, I could. Why not? I could do unedited flea market if you really want it. I could. I don't know. Why not? I could. Is it worth it to purge and delist junk items, or is it better to just continue to mark down until it sells? So like if you've already spent the money, you've already done the work, you can, you know, decrease the price and make it more enticing. And hopefully someone does buy it. You can increase promoted listings, get more visibility. You could do the markdown. You can send out more aggressive coupons. If that doesn't work, you can run an auction. If that doesn't work, you could do an auction at 99 cents. If that doesn't work, you can have a flea market, go to the garage sale, sell it to maybe another reseller who has a different desired profit than you. If none of those work, flea market, garage sale, try to sell it in a bulk lot locally. You can donate it, or you could take it behind the barn, light it on fire if you wish. Any advice on sourcing new and used jewelry, mainly precious metals, gold and silver? We have a great jewelry call in the group. It's on Wednesdays at 3:30, and we have tons and tons of documents in there about all types of jewelry. So if you are interested in selling jewelry, definitely something to check out. I think if you're going to do it, I've seen a lot of people have a lot of success looking for gold and silver at the flea market, but you got to get there early and you got to make the round. So like if I was like a gold and silver person, I would be hitting the flea markets heavy, making the connections with the people that buy the storage units, making connections with the people that are regulars, and I would be there early and I would be making the rounds. Aaron, how you doing, Aaron? Sold a Coogee cardigan before I popped in. Felt the eBay presence. Very good. How much did you sell it for? How long do you hold inventory until you drop the price or donate it? So that's going to be a individual approach. Um, for me, I started my markdown at X day. Just don't copy someone's markdown strategy if they give it to you, because that is a markdown strategy tailored for them, not tailored for you. So like if people come on and they like tell you what their markdown strategy is and you just copy it blindly, you may be doing yourself a disservice. So you have to assess your storage situation. You have to assess how long you want your money out before you get a return. You have to assess like how many items you can physically store without kind of busting at the seams or expanding. And then figure out like, I want to hold items for 6 months. And if I have them for over 6 months, I need to get real aggressive and turn a small profit, break even at worst. I should be a better reseller today than what I was 6 months ago. I just need my original investment back and I can give myself a better opportunity. So definitely listen to the Techonomics podcast here on YouTube. Learn your numbers. We go through the calculator. We go through how to figure out everything involved with that. And then, definitely assess what your storage is and what your individual needs are. So like for me, when I had 10,000 square feet, I can afford to wait longer because I had a lot of space. When I had more money in the bank and I was more fortunate and more comfortable, I can afford to have my money out waiting for a return much longer than I could have when I just started eBay. So like when I just started eBay, I needed my money now. Like I needed to sell stuff. I was marking down items very aggressively, very quickly because I needed the money right now. I didn't have a huge place to store it. I had, pile in the corner inventory system and a couple of bins in my bedroom, and it took over my whole bedroom. So like I needed to get stuff moving. So, definitely come up with an individual aged inventory markdown process, and assess how many items you can store and how long you can afford to have your money out there before it returns a profit. Logging in on all my devices using my kids' Google accounts to quadruple like the stream. So Marco is the MVP right there. Marco is the MVP. And we have 399 people in the chat. Like we can't even get one more person. We can't get this thing over 400. How would you go about sorting through bulk of inventory? I may be incorrect, but I may have heard you mention that you just list how they come. I absolutely do list how they come. I don't do any sort of pre-sort or batch listing. We got 401 in the chat. Let's go. I never do any sort of batch listing. I personally believe that we should be as active as possible in all of our categories as frequently as possible, and that means every single day. So if it's shirt, button up, polo, NFL, NBA, MLB, shorts, pants, jacket, sweater, if that's how it comes, that's how I list. People like to do the batch process because maybe they feel like it goes faster, but like nobody wants to time how long separating everything actually takes, and they never add that to the time that they actually take to batch the listing. So like if you add it up, probably takes longer. It does take longer to separate everything and then list in batches than it would be just to list in a straight line. And I think that when people do batch, they're always going to go towards the easiest items to list, and those more difficult items kind of never get dealt with. So for me, I list everything in a straight line, be as active as possible in every single category. The other day you were asking why people are listing bad items. I was going to say, for me, I'm having to end and sell similar and make price adjustments to get them sold. They look new, but they're old. Let's just get them sold and let's redeploy that money into better items. This is my 18th year and I still love it. Have no plan to stop. And shout out to you. Very, very good. I've been selling since 1997. Awesome. Would you recommend listing less if you can't find great items on a given day, or still list the lesser bread and butter? I would rather list no items than list an item that's never going to sell. You can go in and you can rework your listings. You can put in better keywords. You can revise them, recheck the price. There's still stuff that we could do every single day in our store if we cannot go out there and find, really good items. And I personally would rather fix the listings in my store than to invest in items that are going to take an immensely long time to sell or that nobody wants to buy. We got Andrea in the chat. How you doing? Shelly caught the live from Perth, Western Australia. Lachey, I enjoy Lachey. She always drops some comments for the algorithm on all the videos, so I do appreciate her. Mike says, how's your day been? My day's been pretty good. We got, on top of everything else that we usually ship in and ship out every single day, we got 7,000 Harley shirts and sweaters in today. And they were all sold within about 2 or 3 hours. So we did very good on that today. All that stuff's going to get shipped out very soon. And then I came home, jumped in the shower, ate a slice of cold pizza, and now I'm on the live. So we're doing good. I hosted the morning call this morning, got everybody, fired up to, seize the day and go fight the good fight. So today's been a good day. How's your day been, Mike? And how's everyone's day been in the chat? 408 people. Tell me, how has your day been in the chat? 1 or 2 words, all 400 people. Let's see if we can get 400 people to give me a response. How has your day been? Tech, you mentioned about getting into art one day. What artists do you like? I have never mentioned getting into art. I don't know where that came from, Ray. Never. If you have your processes down and won't lose anything or drop your metrics, what's the best tips to increase volume? To increase what your business can afford and increase at a rate which your defects will not be impacted or hindered by out of stock, cancellations, more returns, your feedback going down, all of those things. So we should get better at what we're doing, bring those defects down, reset to 0 every single day. Don't have piles all over the house. Don't be losing stuff, and then scale at a point which you can afford, of course. Eric says, I think work ethic, educating yourself, and boots on the ground and patience are great ingredients for success. I agree too. I think work ethic is huge. Educating yourself is where a lot of people fall flat. Boots on the ground, giving yourself as many opportunities as possible, and then having the discipline and patience. I think so too. How do you deal with paying a finder's fee to those who send you leads? So today on the Harley shirts, the guy who connected me with the buyer, he made $6,000, and I'm happy with that. So as long as everybody's making money, I'm happy. So like if you can plug me up with something, I'll make sure you make money. We all make money. Everybody makes money. And you know what happened when I handed him his cut? He said, I'm going to go out and find more. And Mr. Ben, that's the name of the game. Hey, I'm just starting, and my biggest issue is how to properly search on eBay. What is the proper way to search for an item you find in store through eBay? Is there a specific wording I should use? So if you're just beginning, it can be a little bit tough. But as you get better, you start to learn more keywords, maybe more patterns, maybe more styles, maybe more nuance that you can really hone into and kind of refine that search. You can also use left-hand navigation to use some of those pre-selected item specifics to also hone into your search. So give yourself some grace. You're new. It is going to take some time. This is the slowest it's ever going to be. So like it's only going to get better from here. But the more keywords you can use, the more kind of searching how the buyer would search. And again, this does come with experience too. All of this is going to make things easier. If you can try to front load as much knowledge as possible, that's going to help too. So that way you can say, oh, wait, I remember studying this a couple of weeks ago. Now I've found it. I don't need to look this one up. You can also use Google Lens. That's also a valuable tool as well. But you just got to study. You got to practice. Give yourself some grace. It will take a good amount of time in order for you to get to the point where you are very, very comfortable. And you don't have to look everything up, and you're very, very comfortable with the search as well. The chat jumped. All right, let me find where it was. All right, I got it. My man Keen, how you doing, man? He says, chip on your shoulder, love it. Keen, you know me for a long time, my friend. You know that is the only thing that drives me. I don't do nothing for the money. I do everything because someone somewhere has tried to get over on me, and I came to that sudden realization this weekend that like a lot of people I try to help, and a lot of people take my kindness for weakness. And this has put me into the position to start just about every single business that I've started, like even reselling. I used to dominate the thrift so hard that people used to write my name on the clothes, say, F this guy, write it on with marker. You know how much that fueled me back in the day? I used to go to the flea market and dudes used to try to screw me over at the flea market. Do you know how much that fueled me back in the day? Like if people just left me alone, I would probably be a homeless scrub, no money, no drive, no initiative, no nothing. But for whatever reason, it happens. Um, I've been playing this game for only a month and learning something every day. Thanks for the teachings. No doubt. Make sure you put the question marks in the front, please. It does help a lot. I'm not nearly the reseller that you are. That's okay. But I always refer people to your videos. Is it okay that I post these amazing tutorials on my Instagram? You may if you wish. Thank you for asking. Thank you, Amy. So Kate says, if you're too old for Discord, how old am I? Look, my son goes on Discord and I don't even know what they're doing. I'm officially old. Where are we? +1 for the long form. So Keen, you want the long form flea market video? I'll tell you what, if I did long form flea market video, my life would be a lot easier because editing, 2.5 hours at the flea market into 22 minutes is a task, man. It's a task. Jose say he just came through to hit the like. Thank you, sir. Definitely check out the replay. I'm getting back into reselling after quitting a couple years ago. Reselling is hard but rewarding. It is, man. It's tough. Could you just do a live all day, no editing? Maybe. Hockey Shack said, first time catching live, hit the like button. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. We are trying to hit the record 850 likes. I don't know if we could do it. The most amount of people we've ever had in here is 753. The most amount of likes we ever had was 850. There'll be 4,000 people that pass by. We've hold steady on 400, which is very nice, greatly appreciated. But what do you guys think? Are you guys down for doing the Vlogmas? If I go live every single day for an hour, December 1st through Christmas, let's try to help as many people as possible. Let's spread some good reseller cheer amongst everybody. Let's get everybody going hard to the end of the year and get everybody a good start on January 1st, 2025. I'm thinking about going live every single day from the 1st to the 25th because James Boldfines jokingly said I should do Vlogmas and put out a video every single day. I'm thinking about it. Tash, newbie from New Zealand, 2:44 p.m. Very good. I found editing my listings better than listing a trash item. You heard it from Zach right there. Had a portable DVD player return. They said it was smoking. However, they returned a different unit. How do I handle this? eBay says I could be dinged if I file a report. So what I would do is I would upload photos to the case and or send them messages, send photos in a message. I would call eBay. I would show them that this is a different item. The other one had a scratch here. This one does not. The screws have been open. You can tell the paint is off of them. This is a different unit. What can you do to help me? And every single time that I've asked eBay to help me, they have helped me. If they're unable to help you, you may have the ability to withhold up to 50%. So at least you don't lose all the money. You can retain 50% of the funds, and then maybe you can sell it as is for parts. But if it's smoking, maybe just throw it in the trash. All right. A lot of people have responded to how great their day is. Jean Queen said her day was profitable. That's what I'm talking about. I love that. Chat is on fire. Sir Pedro, my man. I appreciate him. He's a good dude. All right. What else we got? Questions. When I beat the chat is a rep. When we go shopping and search an item on the phone, how do we find the selling percent? So you can either go to ebay.com, scroll all the way to the bottom, and there's a little button that says classic site. That will bring you to the desktop version. Do your search, use left-hand navigation just like you would on a computer. See how many is active, 100 active, go to sold and 50 sold. That would be 50% sell through. Or you can use the app and you can go to the top right and it has filters up there. Click filter and then you have to click more options. And on there, you can toggle the switch that says sold. So you can either go to the classic site and that'll be just like the computer, or you can use the app top right. It has a bunch of filters. You have to click more. And one of the filters is completed sold. Fino in the chat, he's been gaining in. Fino said he started a new business. I won't say what it is, but he said he's been doing a great job. So shout out to him. Thank you for your time and attention to the audience. How do you recommend straightening out an inventory that posted and is in a sort of disarray? I would do an audit. I would check every single box or bin that I have and cross-reference whether it is listed on eBay and listed properly and inventory properly. If you really have a humongous mess, you need to remove everything off of eBay and you need to put it back up on eBay one by one. You can go to your ended folder. You don't have to redo the listing. You can go to ended and they need to get listed properly, whether you have a custom SKU, whether you need to photograph your SKU, whatever your inventory method is. What we cannot do is sell items and have to cancel for being out of stock. If you do that too many times, eBay is going to sit you down. They're going to sit you down. You're going to be in timeout and or lose your entire account. So you might have to start from scratch. Any businesses you haven't started that you still want to? I don't know. I just kind of rock and roll. Maybe the next time someone tries to get over on me, maybe I might start a hot dog stand if the hot dog guy tries to get over on me, because that's all I need. I just need someone to try to catch me slipping or get over on me or take my kindness for weakness, and it's go time. So who knows? I might have a hot dog stand coming up. Should your competitors help you in order for them to beat you? Should your competitors help you in order for them to beat you? As they say, you keep your friends close, you keep your enemies even closer. My like of money is most times more than what my dislike is for the person. So there's a lot of people that I don't particularly like, but I will take their money and I will enjoy taking their money. I enjoy taking their money more than I dislike them. There are some people that I dislike more than taking their money, and under no circumstance would I ever do business with them. But there are some people where I like money more than I dislike them. And I think that, again, competition is healthy. Competition is great. Competition is beautiful. Competition is my fuel. But, you know, everyone's got to play their position. Everyone's got to play their part. And everyone, you know, serves a purpose. Good one, JC. What is your best reseller tips? Mine are research, setting yourself up for the most opportunities, and doing the work, less talking. All came from you. Very good. In the chat, someone give us your top 3 reseller tips. What are your top 3 tips? If you were to talk to someone else who is wanting to be a reseller, what are your top 3 tips? In the chat, top 3 tips. Vote 1 for long form, but maybe edit the walking out. That would save you time as you need to edit that in and out. This is the thing with doing unedited. At the flea market, they play music, and the music will get the video taken down. At the thrift store, they play music, the music gets the video taken down. So like, that's the thing about, trust me, I would love to just put a video up and not edit, but there's tons of music at the flea market. So like, that's the only thing that stops it. Melissa says, never caught you live. Shout out, happy to see you. If you were starting over, do you think you could be as successful as you were, assuming you don't have the knowledge you have now? Absolutely. There is nothing in this entire world that can prevent me from being successful. Nothing in the world. Zero. I will find a way to do it. Do you invest in crypto? Not really, but like I do have like a little bit of Bitcoins just for the lottery ticket. If it ever goes to a bajillion dollars, I got a couple dollars in it. What is your favorite song right now? I don't really have a favorite song. YouTube always like brings me down the path of like eventually listening to Selena Gomez. I don't know what's going on, but like, of course it knows what type of songs I listen to. So like, it'll start with Pastor Troy and we'll be getting it in. We'll be moving 100 miles an hour. And it goes from Pastor Troy all the way. And somehow I end up at Selena Gomez on the autoplay. I don't know how it happens, but I don't hate it either. How to make watchers finally buy. Um, Send out offers to watchers, put out newsletters, um, do buyer groups. All of those can really make the watchers kind of take that leap. Or if you decrease the listing by more than 5%, eBay, in most cases, will send them an email and said that the price has changed. So either offers to watchers, buyer groups, newsletters, or decrease the price by over 5%. How did you get the amount of followers you have on the eBay store? I've sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of items. I always give them an actionable prompt, whether it's the card that I send with my packages, whether it's the communication that I have with people through messaging. Every single opportunity that I have to talk to the customer, I always give them instructions and actionable ways that they can follow the store. I give them the exact link. I tell them to click the heart. I tell them everything. Like when we do try to solicit something from a buyer, we have to give them instructions, we have to give them step by step, and we have to give them something actionable. Would you ever run out of your queue and run your store on empty, meaning you would need to source the same items you are listing that day? It did happen a couple of times where I was sourcing what I needed to list that day. It was usually after like a hurricane hit and everything was closed. And the well kind of ran dry. And I remember there were times where like I would count until I got to 120. And when I got to 120, I would go home. It only happened a couple of times. Better first baseman, Albert Pujols or Don Mattingly? What says the chat? Albert Pujols, Don Mattingly. I think that it is a no-brainer to go Albert Pujols, but what says the chat? That question is from Brian. Almost 400 thumbs up. Let's go. Oh, we got Utah Jazz the best. You're in the house. How you doing? Have you or any of your family members broken a window playing sports in the house? No, we have bulletproof hurricane glass. So that's one reason why we can play the sports in the house. And we have a baseball field over here. We have a pickleball court over here. We can throw the football 20 yards if need be. Do we hit the glass all the time? All the time. But we have bulletproof hurricane glass. So our breaking glass days are over. Sir Pedro, his top 3 tips: good photos, good listings, describe it good. Very good. Lisa says research, research, research. Very good. Keep your books properly. I agree with that. Join the group. Very good, Esmeralda. I agree with that as well. Listen to as many of your videos as possible. I appreciate that. Glenn said in Canada, dealing with a pending postal strike. That's right. The Canadian folks did talk about that. They've been getting together on the Zoom on Thursdays and talking about Canadian topics, and they did talk about that. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. eBay or YouTube, which has larger potential as a career? eBay all the way, man. Like YouTube is a grind, and like the amount of money that they pay, you can make that in a day's work on eBay. Do your research, know your numbers, be consistent. That's very good from Lachey. Don't list something you won't buy for yourself. Yeah, I end up Selena Gomez. It's crazy. Marathon, not a sprint. Riches are in the niches. Persistence, doing the right thing. That's a good one. Very good. Knowledge, consistency, and hit the like button. Dave knows. Good work, Dave. Good work. What does it say send offer, but you have no views on your item? So views reset every 30 days back to 0, and views are unreliable. I've sold more items than I can count that had 0 views, like they're sold, but had 0 views. So riddle me that. Do you own any stock in eBay? I do not. I do not own any stock in anything. I'm not a proponent of the stock market. I don't like that, one wrong tweet by the CEO and all of your money is gone. So for me, I don't have any stocks. I don't own any stocks at all. How big of a queue of items did you keep? Killed the death pile. Congratulations, but now have more pressure to find items. I like to keep between 7 and 2 weeks. I was comfortable at 10. Gene Queen says, Selena Gomez on the playlist sounds like a vibe kill. I think you're tripping, man. Like some of that Selena Gomez, when they got the EDM beats in the back, that be hitting hard, man. I did have Slim Thug, I Run the Streets on song number 2 today. So we had a little Slim Thugger on today. I recently passed 150 in positive feedback and qualified for top rated. Are the benefits actually life-changing for the account or just mild in reality? Either way, striving for it. So if you are top rated, you do get better placement. If you are top rated plus, which means that you have 1 day handling time and a version of the free returns, either 30 days or 60 days, you will be top rated plus. You will get a 10% final value fee discount. You will get better placement. You will get maybe some feedback protection. They used to offer ironclad feedback protection, but that has kind of dialed back a little bit. You will get the ability to withhold up to 50% if a buyer misuses returns. I'm a big proponent of doing free returns and being top rated plus. Have you ever met someone who has the same mindset and work ethic as you? Not sure. I edit my photos to ensure clarity. Thoughts on this? So long as they are accurate and you're not misleading, I suppose it can be fine. But it does take time though. Once I beat the chat, it's a wrap, guys. So y'all better get the questions in. Will this be the first Christmas without shipping? And if so, do you have any plans? Yeah, no shipping this Christmas, huh? I didn't think about that. I don't know, no plans. Every day is a holiday. Every day is fun. So we have fun every single day. Having to end and relist because I jumped the gun, not knowing what I was doing and bought poor items. I'm now dedicate myself to research and getting those bad buys out of there. Very good. Have you talked about the eagle? No, I have not. Every single day on the dot, I have an osprey, not an eagle, but an osprey. He's about maybe this tall. He sits on this tree in my backyard every single day at the same time, every single day. And this is the crazy part. I'm not making this up. This is crazy. When the clocks change times, it's right there at the right time. It's like it's got a watch on. When the clock changes the time, this guy shows up an hour earlier or an hour later. I don't know how they do it, but this guy will show up on time as soon as they change the clocks. I don't know how. If you restarted today, what would your schedule be like? Say you were listing 30 a day. Wake up, do shipping, go to the thrift, get all the items, photograph, list. When did you wash items, before or after photos? Always before, because I want the item to be the absolute best it can absolutely be when it gets to the photo. So if it does have an issue, it could be documented, it could be identified, and we can make a note of it in the listing. I don't want items going sideways back to the wash. I want the item to be the best it possibly can when it gets to the photo station. Mike Tyson or Jake Paul from Gene Queen? Good question for the chat. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw a video of Mike Tyson today on Instagram. He was looking slow. Pains my heart to say, because I remember in 1996, I have a vivid memory of this as a kid. When Mike Tyson got out of jail, he fought at the MGM. I remember the fight started. People turned and looked away at something in the kitchen. When they turned back to the screen, the fight was over. I vividly remember this when I was a kid. I was 12 years old. I was sitting on the ground, and I vividly remember people drawing their attention this way and turning around. The fight was over that quick. But he was looking slow in the video. I'm going to be honest with you. I worked for eBay in 2014. Did you know they used your store as an example in our training class to show an example of a good store? Did they really? Back in 2014? Let's go. Hit me up on Instagram. I want to know more about that. And I know, like you say, Utah Jazz is the best. That's interesting to know, because they've never contacted me until this year, when I had some kind of news article written about me in like Newsweek magazine or some new business magazine or Business Weekly, whatever it is. And then eBay sent an email to me and reached out. But I had no idea about that in 2014. If that's for real, send me a message on Instagram. I'd like to talk about that for a minute. Is 30 a day really a sweet spot in terms of items and overhead work-life balance? I believe so, because at 30 a day, you probably don't need a storage unit. You can store most of that at your house. It shouldn't take all day. You should be done in probably a half day or 3/4 of a day, and you can go find something else to do. Where are we? The chat jumped. Okay. Any words of advice for someone that frequently gets tempted to keep some of the sourced items from the personal? I don't have my shirt on today, but I would rather collect dollar bills than collect polo. I could have the best polo collection on the face of the earth. All the grails that I found, I could have the best polo collection. Or I can collect dollar bills. So when I started doing this, I made a pact with myself that I cannot keep any items. I have to collect dollar bills. I cannot collect cool stuff that I find at the thrift store. Culture Vibe DNA, channel member. Very good. Are you partial to H-Town rap? I do like it. I like Chameleonaire, Paul Wall, Slim Thug, Swisher House, Lil Yo, Big Hawk. I like all those guys. Absolutely. How do I join your Facebook group? You can go to www.resellergreatness.com and they have a button right there that says join the group. It's $1 per day. We have 30 live calls per week, over 120 live calls per month. I think it comes down to like 25 cents per call. I host the morning call every single day. I answer every single question in the Facebook group. I also host other calls throughout the week. We have every single niche covered, from auto parts to shoes to clothes to antiques to live selling, Poshmark. It is the most comprehensive resource anywhere on the internet about reselling. We have tutorials, walkthroughs, we have beginner calls, we have accountability. I'll be on you. If you say you're going to do something, I'll be right there to make sure you get it done. So we got a lot of people all the way from beginners to people that are number one in their niches, selling millions and millions of dollars. Everyone is respectful. We got no drama. I run a tight ship. So if you want to jump in, jump in. If it doesn't work for you, let me know. I'll give you a refund. So you only have two choices. One is jump in, make your business better, make more money, make a profit on the group. One is it doesn't work, and then you can hit me up and I'll give you a refund. So there's no risk. We also have an accountant that does a call on Thursdays. I provide an accountant for everybody. She can help you with taxes. She can help you with bookkeeping. She can help you with your numbers. You can't even talk to an accountant for $1 a day. And I'm very, very happy to provide that service for everybody in the group as well. What was your highest single sale price item you have sold? I think I sold one for 5,000, either $4,000 or $5,000 bucks. What was my reaction? I don't know. Another day in the office. Trash route paid off again. Spent an hour driving around yesterday. Just listed catcher's gear for 170, sold for 120. Was inside a nice bag. I'm telling you, hit the scrap route. If you don't have a lot of money, get out on the scrap route. Even if you have a lot of money, get out on the scrap route. Is 500 enough to get started eBay reselling? I think it's more than enough, and do not rush to spend all the 500. Be easy. At what point did you consider hiring people to help list and ship? Was it a goal income or work just too much time? When I was selling so many items that it was impacting my sourcing capability, that's when I made the first hire. So if you are not selling so many items that it takes so long for you to ship, maybe it's not the right time. Do you think the good sourcing opportunities like you had over the years are still readily available out there like they once were? My friend, do you watch my videos? I go to the flea market for one day on a Saturday. I go there for 2 hours and I find $10,000 worth of stuff every single week. I go to the thrift store. I find $53 average sales price. There are more opportunities today than there has ever been. Did you thrift every day when you got going? In the beginning, no, because I didn't have a super aggressive listing goal. So maybe it was a couple times a week. But as my listing goal became more aggressive, then I had to go out more often. Absolutely. People say you have to have a large following on YouTube to do well on eBay. What is your stance on this? I was the number one in every single men's clothing category, millions of dollars in sales, and had zero social media presence. So no. You can be eBay world domination. You do not need YouTube or social media. The largest sellers that I know have no YouTube, no social media. I know a guy who does $20 million on Amazon. No one knows who he is. I know the number one shoe seller in the entire world. Nobody knows who he is. You don't have to have any of that. Why do you say you live below your means? Because I have 4 shirts. I have a Honda Accord from 2014. I do have a pretty good house, but this is like a Honda Accord of what I could afford. I just don't need anything fancy, flashy. I don't need any fur coats. It doesn't make me happy. I don't drive my happiness from material things. So I have an old phone that's cracked up. Doesn't make me happy. I don't derive my happiness from material things. I do derive my happiness from helping as many possible people. So that's why I'm over here, and that's why I'm helping folks over here. 500 is more than enough. I agree. And like like Sir Pedro says, no questions. The stream will end. It's about to be good game. Did the deal go through in New York? Absolutely, it did. Yeah, that's long gone. I'll probably release that video in 2 weeks. It was probably between $30,000 and $50,000 worth of stuff, and the guy that I sold it to has already made like $4,000, and he's only had the stuff for like 3 weeks. So yeah, like King says, I retired from eBay before I posted my first YouTube video. Absolutely. Do you own any pets? I do not own any pets. Want your kids to get into reselling if they want to, but like I don't force my son to do anything. Like maybe he can grow up and he's capable of curing cancer. I don't know. I don't want him relegated to like packing my boxes. So I just want him to be great. That's it. Do you thrift your Christmas gifts? We don't really give gifts, as disappointing as that is. We just rock and roll, man. What do we got? I'll let the chat jump one more time, but as Sir Pedro said, this is about to be good game. I am going to be week 57 in a row world champion, 57-0 world champion. We are about to be out of here. Is it more important to focus on a niche of items you're going to sell, or is it okay to sell from multiple categories? You could sell from any category that you wish, but I think it's easier to scale the more kind of skewed your focus is. So like if I tried to sell sombrero, toaster, shoe, backgammon t-shirt, that's more difficult than just selling in one particular niche. Can you give us a quick BOLO info that comes to mind? I don't know. I guess I picked up these this weekend. The Nike Cortez in the Forrest Gump colorway. Marcus on last Wednesday, he showed that in the show and tell. That's a good BOLO. The Nike Cortez Forrest Gump colorway, they go for a little bit of a premium. Also, I don't know. I got millions of them. Watch the videos. I've already given out 2,000 BOLOs. What did you think of the World Series? Man, I thought the Yankees was going to put up more of a fight than that, but they pretty much got dog walked. Thank you for all you do to Reselling. I'm happy to do it. Give the guy with the 500 question one item to go find a profitable item. So that's it. We have beat the chat. 57 week in a row world champion. This guy, I do appreciate every single person that has dropped a question in the chat. If you do want to see Vlogmas 25 lives in a row, if you're going to make a commitment to be here, I'll make a commitment to be here. Post that in the comments. If you have missed the live, post all your questions that you want in the comments. I answer every single comment that has ever been posted on any one of my videos. Drop a thumbs up. It's good luck. You'll get a sale. Post a comment in the comment section for all of my videos. It helps the algorithm. I don't ask you guys for anything. Just drop me a comment for the algorithm. Every single question that you guys have, I will answer it. If you have missed the live, put a comment in the bottom with your question, and I will answer it. And we will see everybody next week. So I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody does great, as always. Be great. Adios.